What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video with your boy Savvy G. Today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of disposable vapes. Given at the fact that they're becoming so popular, a lot of companies are switching to the disposable vape system just because of the overall convenience factor. Today I'm going to be giving my pros and cons as to why I like disposable vapes, but at the same time I kind of hate them, alright ladies and gentlemen, and at the same time you already know we're going to be having a nice little sesh for everybody who wants to sesh along. But before we get started, make sure you're subscribed and leave a fat like to the channel. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So when it comes down to disposable vapes, there are a pretty good handful amount of pros and cons. So I'm only going to mention a few throughout this video. And we're going to go ahead and start off with the pro side. The number one pro side, like I mentioned earlier in the video, is going to be that a lot of companies are switching this because of the overall convenience factor. What I mean by convenience is the fact that the consumer, the people who are buying the disposables, don't have to buy an extra battery when they're going out and buying that disposable in specific, as opposed to when you're buying a 510 thread cartridge or even a pod. You still have to go out there and get that specific battery, or else you're not able to chief. And I feel like a lot of companies are trying to eliminate that factor. They're trying to make it a lot more convenient. At the same time, they can charge a couple of extra bucks because they're providing you with that all-in-one factor, right, ladies and gentlemen? So the number one pro is going to be the overall convenience. As a consumer, you don't have to be buying extra batteries. Alright, let's go ahead and do a con now. So a con obviously is going to have to be, when it comes down to disposables, most of them don't have variable wattages. Now some of them do have maybe up to 3 different variable wattages, but that's at the most, alright ladies and gentlemen. Some of them, most of them only really give you one option to choose from, and sometimes I'm not really mad about it, but there are times out there where I'm like, damn, I really wish I can adjust the variable wattage of that disposable. And there's really no way to work around changing that variable wattage unless you're a professional, right? What I mean by professional is you have to have somewhat a device like this that I have right here today, alright? So the disposable that I'm using for the video is gonna be this right here by a company called Transpring. And they made this disposable right here. They make a lot of other electronics, and they pretty much have the niche in making disposable vapes, and they make some really high quality and ones just like this one right here, which is called the Peak. All right, so this is the Peak from Transpring, a disposable. They're making some of the best disposables out that give the best quality tasting oil, no leaching metals, and all that good stuff. But that's not the only important thing. Actually, after copying this disposables, I was able to get this little device right here, and it's a TSS reader. And pretty much how it works, all right ladies and gentlemen, you guys are pretty much gonna get your mind blown right now. And you go ahead and turn it on, right? You go ahead and grab your preferred disposable. Now right now I'm not really too sure if it only works with Transpring disposables, but let's just go ahead and say it doesn't. Let's go ahead and say it's universal. You go ahead and cop this device right here, and as you guys can see, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of a close-up, but this has a function where all you have to do, right ladies and gentlemen, is you literally just go ahead and connect it to your disposable, and then you can go ahead and switch the overall variable wattage, all of that good stuff, so you can make sure that you're getting the perfect hit, your preferred hit, every single time. It doesn't matter if you're chiefing on distillate, live rosin, live resin. This device comes in very clutch, all right ladies and gentlemen. And this right here is not for everybody. Obviously this right here is a very high-tech device for those people who really want to dial in their freaking variable wattages. So really big shout out to Transpring for making some amazing devices just like the Peak right here and just like the TSS reader right here. Like I said, this is a game changer for any company who makes disposables, or even for personal use for anybody who watches my videos and actually makes their own disposables at home, because I know there's quite a few of you guys out there. So yeah, this device is honestly a game changer. I haven't seen any other company coming out with something like this. So the TSS reader is extremely dope. Like I said, you could go ahead and switch it from any type of variable wattage that you want. You can see the ohmage, all of that good stuff. Very, very high-end tech, and I've been using their disposables multiple times. I know you guys have probably seen me use a lot of other disposables in the past, but this one right here has honestly been my favorite as of late. Yeah, that right there was one of the cons about most disposables, is the fact that you can't really change the variable wattage, but when it comes down to certain ones like the Transpring Peak right here and the TSS reader, you actually can give yourself the option of doing that. Now, another con of some disposables, not really this one in specific, is that a lot of disposables have that like pull to activate system and not the button system, right? And those are a little bit on the more dangerous side, because when you get lint in there, when you get certain type of stuff, you leave it in your pocket, you leave it in certain type of areas, it'll get, sometimes if it malfunctions, it will hit by itself, it will run through your oil, and that's not a very good thing to have, all right, ladies and gentlemen. It's happened to me several times, and I can't tell you how much oil I've wasted, and that's why I kind of try to lean more towards the disposables that have the button on them, because you could go ahead and turn it off whenever you please, and you don't really have to be worrying about those things happening, all right? The last thing that you want is literally just chilling somewhere, faded, and then you just feel some hot ass thing in your pocket getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and then boom, that should just burst. You have to go to the hospital, you have to explain to the doctor that your little freaking oil vape pen exploded in your pocket, and now you just look like a goof, all right, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want that happening. So those right there were some pros and cons of disposable vapes, in my opinion. I really do think that they are a game changer. I really do think that for what they are, they just provide convenience for both the consumer and like companies. It's very, very neat, all right, ladies and gentlemen. But would I trade them in for like 510 thread carts or pods? I don't know. I really don't know. That's a very, very hard question, because I feel like 510 carts and freaking pods have a deep like place in my heart. And when it comes down to these are still a little bit newer. A lot of companies are barely starting to adapt to the disposable vape system. I just like, I don't know. I really do love the 510 thread carts, right? But this right here is a magnificent device, especially when you have a device like this where you can change the variable wattages at your fingertips. It's a game changer, right? So with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know some more pros and cons down in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a fat like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.